Okay. Counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Loud Schnackers.
Yeah.
What episode is this?
6.
6 for chicks and
Dicks.
okay. We were all thinking it.
Today's snack is Yes Chips, garlic shrimp chips. They're delicious. And also, Eunice brought something.
I
Yes.
bought pumpkin
about it.
bread. Well, 'tis the season of fall. La 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 la. And I think Trader Joe's has all of the fall goodness,
Can we open
good
this?
things. Yeah, of course. Open that up and eat it now because it's so moist. It's so pumpkin-y.
Yeah.
Okay, take
There
it.
you go.
Yeah.
Let's.
You guys each get one because it's just so. I can't wait for you guys to.
Now I feel like
Try it.
Now I feel like you're messing with us.
No, I don't. Oh yeah, this.
We're like super high.
She's like, I take a dump in it.
Oh, these are really good.
Right?
They
The
feel
Yes
really
Chips.
cool when they just rest on your tongue.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
Yes
like
Chips.
it
It's
has a
almost
little
like-
popping
Yeah.
texture to it.
It's like it sticks to your tongue a little
Pop
bit,
Rocks.
and then like
Pop
they
Rocks, but it's
dissolve.
shrimp.
Interesting.
They're bomb. You guys should try
I'm
it.
just gonna break this in half.
I hope you guys like it. Now I'm nervous. Oh
All right, let's see.
God.
Judgment time.
What do you smell? Pumpkin.
Smells like my childhood.
Oh.
Days in Chicago when the leaves were falling.
Oh.
Another nap.
Those were terrible times.
That's several times. You went back to a bad memory.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Cinnamon. Is there cinnamon in there?
Perfectly dense
Yeah.
and moist.
Yes.
Everyone's least favorite word, moist.
Moist.
There's like a something coming up in the back. I don't know. Is it that the cinnamon?
It's
I'll
the
give
dump.
you $5 if you can guess. The one ingredient.
Love.
Damn. We didn't shake on it.
So
But-
there's a secret ingredient.
It's love.
Is it really?
I always put love in there for
That's
you
not
guys.
what I'm talking about.
Trying to be technical, right?
You know when people really like the food, like on those the Food Network shows, where they eat it and they're like, "All right, this is too good. Get it away from me." Is it really that good, or is that an escape? I don't know.
Okay, so
Anyways,
did
Anyway,
you
this
guys
is so
watch the
good.
Food Network? Did you guys watch the Food Network a lot? Like I watched it a lot in college.
Yeah.
And
What
like-
was the show you watched?
So
So many good ones.
there's
Chef.
I really like Iron Chef, and I like Bobby Flay's. I think it was like some kind of like where he like
Bobby.
beat Bobby Flay or something like that.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
I also
He
like-
always won.
Yeah, well, sometimes, most of the time. And then there's also Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives. with
Oh, yeah.
Guy
That
Fieri.
one's fun.
Oh,
I watched that all day.
Yeah, and like
Those
that
frosted
one,
tips.
it was
Yeah.
very obvious when he didn't like the food.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
It was so obvious. He was just
Why?
like, it's pretty good.
Oh.
It's pretty good. You know, he's just like kind of like, just like complimented, but
Yeah,
like just
yeah.
barely. But then if it was good, he'd be like, oh, he'd be like,
Be like,
he'd
shut the
gush-
front door.
Yeah, he'd be so excited about it. And
He'll like feed the camera guy.
Oh my
It's like,
God,
yeah.
that's
but then he's like,
nice.
he'll take the bite of the bad one. He's like, all right, I see what you're doing.
Oh, that's
Because
And
he
he just like walk
sad.
away.
he never says like, this is okay. He never says
Yeah.
it.
He
Everything
can't.
is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just a level of how good it is. you know?
Yeah.
You can just tell. So
Yeah.
he was not excited for that one at all. Don't go there.
Yeah.
Wow.
By the way, this is amazing. Get it away from me. Take it away. You know.
Take me to Flavor Town.
No, but this is really good.
This is
Oh,
good.
thanks,
just-
guys.
yeah.
Well, I can't take full credit because, again, Trader Joe's has the pre-mix. That's why when you said cinnamon, I was
If
like,
you're gonna say I
"Oh."
just bought it from Trader Joe's, I was like, wait, what?
No, I just added eggs, water, oil, and love. Yeah.
I thought you were being humble for a second. Like, I can't take full credit.
Yeah.
Some of it belongs to the Lord. But it was just
Well,
like
all
a
of
Trader
it.
Joe's type
Oh,
of thing.
well,
So
you know, Trader Joe's belongs to the Lord too. Everything really belongs to the Lord.
That's
so.
true.
dude.
Very true. Very, very true. All right.
Thanks, guys, for enjoying
It's
it.
good. Seriously.
Very good.
So, something has been in the news recently. Well, not news, but like social media has been blowing
Yes.
up a bit. And Joe was talking about it. It's a man on a skateboard, and he's drinking cranberry sauce or cranberry juice.
Same thing.
Thanksgiving's coming up, you know. All I'm saying.
Cranberry juice.
Yep.
And he's lip syncing to "Dreams" by Fleetwood Mac, which is one of my favorite songs of all time. So
That's a vibe right there.
that
Yeah.
was
You know, Fleetwood Mac's that song is now back on the charts
because of that.
because
Really?
of that viral video.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you guys listen to that growing up?
No.
Like, because my parents did. So like so it was like that was there. A lot of like just 80s songs, like a lot
Yeah.
of like super old songs, and like that one I remember like specifically. I was like, this is a good one, and
Yeah.
now it's back, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Do you guys know why that became viral? Like, what was the story behind his? Like, this is what I heard. I heard that he had a bad day or something. Like, something happened where it was like unfortunate, where either his truck broke down, which is why Ocean Spray, the cranberry juice
They gave him
company,
like a
gave
lifetime
him
of supply,
a
right?
truck. Yeah, or lifetime. So I forgot what it was.
Oh, maybe that too, though.
But yeah, he got like a truck or something like that. Or I don't know. But I think it's because in the time of negativity, or in the time where he was just, he was shit out of luck, you know, with his truck or whatever it may be, he just decided to film himself drinking cranberry juice, skateboarding, lip syncing to one of the greatest songs. And I guess that spread positivity.
Yeah.
To give proper credit where it's due, it's Dogface 208 with two G's, Dogface 208. And yeah, it is a mystery on what becomes viral, you know?
Yeah.
And there is something that's super unforced about it. It's very natural. He genuinely looks like he's having a good time. And the song is good. That always helps.
Yeah.
The drink looks good. That always helps.
Yeah.
And I think there is something about these specific times where people just want to not worry for once. And that guy seemed unworried.
Yeah.
He was
So-
just, the amount of chill that he had was off the charts.
Yeah, and I think there's, I think it's encouraging for people that are in the arts, like songwriters or people that are making songs for themselves as artists. Like, these days, the music industry, you make a good song, well, it's a hit, but then it's gone. It burns bright, and then it's forgotten.
Oh, interesting. So like,
But if you have a good quality song, it could come back at any point, like
timeless.
Yeah.
Fleetwood Mac is like a band that transcends time in some ways, just the sheer quality and the volume of work they've had. And for that to
Stevie
come
Nicks.
back, it does say something about like the quality of their music. Of course, it needed to be in the backdrop of something visually pleasing for this generation. It had to be relevant to the viewers of today. But it's encouraging. I think it's great that a great song, even from the past, so it's no longer under the criteria of, oh, isn't that old? Or like, oh, like what's new? I want to hear something new. Because everyone is all about recency bias. It's all about what's new, what's
Right.
current. Have you heard this? If you haven't, you're not cool because
Yeah.
you're missing out on what's
Yeah.
current. But it's no longer about that because of these videos. These videos need background music. And it could be something from not today's charts. And I think that's nice.
And it's like crazy to think like, because like it's really young kids, like, like high schoolers or even like, as young as whatever. But like there's no way unless their parents like listened to this song when they were little or something like that. But like, I feel like the parents of the kids of the high schoolers now, I feel like they're like a little bit too young to have even like enjoyed this music, like, so like it's like reaching a completely new generation that would never have listened to this song anyway. So
So how like when we were little kids, like old music for us were the Beatles.
yeah.
Like, what is the old music of the next generation?
That's what I was going to ask. Like, what is the cycle? Like, what's the cycle period? Is it 10 years? Like a decade, or is it more? Because
I think
Fleetwood
it's gotta be
Mac was-
more.
I feel like it's shorter actually now because
Oh.
of how fast music comes
that's
out
true.
now and how easily available it is.
Right.
So like things will become old like within 5 years.
Well, think about this. We were, let's say, some of us from the 90s, right? So if we grew up and we remember the 90s, then 80s music was still considered old music. So that's only 10 years,
Yeah.
before that. So, yeah, I think, I don't know,
When
Smash
is
Mouth?
Fleetwood
Smash
Mac-
Mouth for sure.
Smash Mouth, old
Oh my
school.
God.
Smash
It's
Mouth was
classic
like
rock.
Yeah, for
Sugar
like
Ray,
now it is though, right?
you know?
Yeah.
And like No Doubt, like
No
they're
Doubt,
they're
right.
like they're
Yeah.
so old at this point, from
Yeah.
like way back when.
Nirvana for sure.
I was because like
you know?
I was like, even a little bit too young for Nirvana because like that was like
That's
early '90s, Like I was
Where
I
does
was 5.
Fleetwood
Yeah, I
Mac
was 5.
fall in?
They're like
So that's the
Before
thing. I
and
feel
before
like a part of the reason why kids in high school, back when I was in high school, were listening to the Beatles, the Zombies, you know, like all these, like the Beach Boys, Bob Dylan, is partially because, of course, they have amazing music, timeless music. But it's also like a cool factor. You're trying to like find your niche. You're trying to
Yeah.
find
It's
your
retro.
crew, and
Right.
like you're trying to make a label for yourself. You
Yeah.
know, like people don't want to admit, but music, the type of music you listen to and the type of artist you subscribe to is reflecting of what kind of person you are.
Yeah.
You know, like you're trying to project like, oh, I'm this kind of guy.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and so Nirvana, Fleetwood Mac, that's like the cool of the old days for this generation, you know, because like you're not gonna say Smash Mouth, I'm cool now, you know, like you're not gonna say, maybe Limp Bizkit, but like, you know, you're not gonna say these bands. You might not even say No Doubt. You know, I think No Doubt's a great band, but it's
Yeah.
just too happy-go-lucky to be considered like cool. Like Nirvana
edgy.
is vicious, you know, like Fleetwood Mac, it's not vicious, but it's like it's dark, it's mysterious. You know, Stevie Nicks is mysterious. So
You know, You know what's timeless? It's not even a real band, I don't think. It's from Full House, Jesse and the Ripper. You remember that?
I don't remember. Because I wasn't that into Full House. I remember we've talked about this before. That
Yeah.
you guys were super into Full House.
Oh yeah, Full House all
Like
the
the
way.
Chicago people love. I don't know about
Yeah,
you guys,
yeah.
but I know Chicago love Full House.
I can do
And,
Full
like,
House trivias.
Yeah, I watched it as a kid, but like I don't know that much. I just know that the Olsen twins swapped out,
Yeah.
and then there's Uncle John Stamos,
Oh, love
Yeah.
him.
and then now the Aunt Becky, is that her name? She had the whole scandal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's-
Oh, with the USC thing.
yeah, the college
Yeah.
application
Yeah,
with
yeah,
her
yeah.
daughter.
Yeah, don't do
Wait.
that.
That girl.
Okay, so what was your type of music growing up? Like, what was your type of music?
what's growing up?
So I guess like let's go. What are your formative years? And so I say like high school, right? High school is like when you really kind of form that, but then also I guess college too. Because for me, honestly, I couldn't figure out what kind of music I liked until college. So, but then
Interesting.
if
Okay.
you guys really enjoyed music starting in high school, what was your type of
Well, how
music?
about we break that down a little more? Like, what was your happy music? What was your cool guy? Or, like
Yeah.
the cool music. Let's just maybe even start with those two.
Okay.
Because like the feel good music, I remember. I think this was my first ever CD. To be honest, it was Hanson,
Oh, okay.
Umbop. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
then-
that's a bop.
I went from that to I think Missy Elliott, like a rain
That's
in the rain.
pretty different. Yeah.
Very different.
Superfly.
Super duper fly. Yeah.
I think my first record or first album ever was Chumbawamba.
Oh, one hit wonder.
Yeah.
Very
And,
good,
like,
though.
And it was, I think my parents got it for me, and like, it was just that one song. I don't even remember how the song goes.
You got full parents.
out.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my God.
It was just that song.
And then
that
the verse is like, I'm pissing the night away.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
verse is.
and then like the thing is, my
quality.
parents got that CD for me, and then like I just listened to that track over and over again because I didn't know any. I didn't like any of the other songs, right? Because that was the only one that was like fun, you know.
You think that was the only track you're listening to, but all 10 tracks were that song.
But then like I think my parents got mad later because they found out that it's an explicit record.
Oh, right.
It had like parent, but then they didn't notice when they bought it. They're like, "What? Like get this out here!" I was like, "No, my one record."
But that's like Sugar Ray. When you
Yeah.
remember you bought that
Yeah,
record.
yeah. Sugar Ray, the record was Floored. And that was right when they started to quote unquote sell out, even though I think them selling out was the best thing they ever could have done. Because before that, it was like hardcore rock. People don't know that. Sugar Ray was like hardcore.
Like punk rock.
Yeah, like in your face, like rock. And then
Oh.
they started putting out Fly, I think. Yeah, and then like, a couple other songs that were just like that. And
I got a good one from that era. How Bizarre by OMC.
How bizarre!
Yeah, that's another like one hit. Wait,
Yeah.
right?
Eunice is like, what?
So like okay, so that time like I did listen to music in high school. Obviously, like I listened to music, but then like it wasn't like a band that I was into. It was just like what was on the radio, what was kind of popular. I was like, okay, this is good. Like I remember Ludacris, like Move Bitch was like that was like at the time was there, and like just all those songs. But then like I think the music that I really got into was when I was in college, and it was like more alternative rock, like Thrice or Amberlin,
Oh.
and like
Oh, I didn't know you were into that.
yeah. So like and then like
Story of the Year.
May.
Oh, MAE.
Yeah, and then Motion City soundtrack.
Oh,
like
yeah,
those
yeah.
were like those are the like albums like Commit This to
Alternative.
Memory.
Yeah.
Motion City soundtrack is my favorite album.
I got a
of all
story
time.
about Motion City. I was actually backstage for when they came out to Chicago and they played at the Metro in the city.
Wow.
And my buddy, he was in love with this song called "The Future Freaks Me Out."
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Yeah,
Great
it's a good
song.
It's a good one.
So he told me, he said, I just really want to tell the lead singer, "The future freaks me out. I just want to say it." And I think it would be one of the best things like I'll remember for the rest of my life. So I said, well, then do it. Like we have a good chance to bump into him. So we were actually sitting there and he was warming up his vocal cords. He was just like, and then my friend, his name is Eddie. He's sitting literally right next to him. And you can tell him like his brain's just going. He's just trying to find the right timing to do it. And I'm like, this looks so silly because he's obsessed right now in this moment. Like he's gonna do it, no matter what. But it was the worst timing because he was trying to hit it this high note, and he was like, ah! And then he's like, hey, "Future freaks me out." And he like looked up at him, and then he stopped singing, and he just like looked down, and it was like this complete. Awkward moment, it's like 5 seconds of silence, and he goes, "Me too, man." And I was just like,
That's nice.
yeah, and then they
What a
high
nice
fived,
guy.
yeah, and we all high fived, and it was just a great moment.
That's
Wait,
awesome.
that's a very
This
pure
is a very
moment.
sweet story.
Yeah.
I like
I thought he was gonna like.
He's like, get away from
Yeah,
me.
I
It's
thought
like
it was
security.
Gonna be a positive.
Yeah, no, it was memorable.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
No.
That's
Yeah,
great.
them. I also like Reliant K.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're into like the Christian like punk bands too?
I don't know. I guess it was just like that's what because like it was just what my friends were kind of into, and like and then like what was another? Oh my god, I can't think of the name.
Describe them.
The something. They're kind of screamo.
Maybe some
Screamo.
drive-through records groups.
Oh, Under Oath,
No, not Under Oath.
Oh, Starting Line.
I did like Starting Line
I
though.
love
Newfound
Yeah.
Glory.
I do like them too, but this is not the band I'm thinking of. It's like
They scream.
they do
Like
scream.
The Used.
The Used. There was the
Yeah.
Used.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
that's like a
Yeah.
iconic
Yeah,
band
I
of
love
that
it.
era.
So I was backstage for Starting Line and for Used.
What the
So
hell?
Awesome.
the Starting Line, I snuck in.
Wow.
So
Whoa, that's awesome.
it was a sold out show. We wanted to get in so bad, but we didn't get any tickets. So we were outside the Metro again, and my buddy and me were like, "Hey, so I have this idea. Let's just grab our instruments because we were in bands,
Oh my god.
and let's just
That's
walk
so
backstage. Let's just go while they're unpacking." Unloading, let's just go back there and just start walking in. What's the worst that can happen? They'll just yell at us.
Brilliant.
So we're like, all right. So one of us grabbed the drum. Like it wasn't even a drum. It wasn't even an actual drum. I think he grabbed drumsticks. I grabbed the guitar, and then we just walked back there, like looked at him, waved, and then went backstage. We just went in. So
What?
we got in, sold out show. We were just hanging out backstage. Few times, like I could see like the security guys like looking at us like, are they supposed to be here?
Oh my God.
And then we would wave our sticks, like, yep, just in case it breaks, we're ready, But
You guys are roadies.
yeah, roadies,
Wow.
right? Yeah. So that was Starting Line, and then the Used, we were at Warped Tour, and we've always had
Whoa.
like
crazy.
Yeah, and our friends, we had like a group of friends, and all the girls, they were like super pretty, attractive. So we just got to go into a lot of things,
Wow.
just because they will just wave and we'll somehow get in, So I was just like running with them. They're like, "Oh yes, I'm with them," And so we went back, and I remember one of the buses. It was All American Rejects, and
Oh
it was
my
packed.
God.
Everybody was just partying
They were
with them.
huge.
They were huge,
You're right.
mega huge.
Yeah, they're
Right.
mega
super.
stars.
I love
Yeah.
that.
And then I was trying to hang out with the Used guys because I'm a huge fan of the Used.
Yeah.
So I was like hanging out, and Bert, he walked. He was like on his phone, and I was trying to get his attention. I was like, "Hey, Bert," and he gave me this, like the
It's like, hold on.
hand, and he just walked away on his
Yeah.
phone. I was like, so super, disappointed. He's one of those I'm too cool guys, And then out of nowhere, he runs back to me. He goes, "Hey, I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, wow.
A family member just died. I just heard a terrible news, and I'm so sorry that." I'm like, "No, just go. Like, I don't need to say hi. It's fine. It's good. But so
Oh,
those
wow.
2 times.
That's awesome.
Those are like some great stories.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You literally
Yeah.
snuck
Yeah.
in with a pair of
So one of them is
Yeah.
the sneaking in that's bold and awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never did that. I didn't even go to concerts until I got to college, and by then I didn't do that kind of stuff.
Well, it's always been like a dream of mine to play there at one point in my life.
Metro?
Metro is like and Sam actually got to play there
Wow.
a couple times, I think, right?
Yeah, I think like 2 or 3
Oh,
times.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was
It's pretty cool when you go there. Like, there's like a wall. I think they might have painted over it or something by now, but in the hallway, like that leads straight to the stage, everybody that plays there signs it. So like all the legendary artists, you know, you can see Billy Corgan from the Smashing
Whoa.
Pumpkins. You can see all these artists. Like, I think one of the first bands that I ever played there was like REM. I'm pretty sure REM signed it. Like all the legends. Yeah.
I'm
And-
sorry, Smashing Pumpkins is one of my favorite bands of all time.
Well,
Really?
then you are more Chicago than you think.
Yeah, seriously.
Smashing Pumpkins, and
That show was at the Metro.
I really enjoyed the Cranberries too back in the day too. Yeah.
So many fruits and vegetables.
Oh, I didn't think
There
about that.
were strange names. There was like Lucky Boys Confusion, Penny and the Loafers, like all the local bands. You know,
Yeah.
Plain White Tees. That's
Plain
from
White Tees, yeah.
Chicago. We used to play with them.
What?
One of my last shows I played at the Fireside Bowl. Plain White Tees, like side band. They played,
That's awesome.
and I think they ended up opening for us because I think we ran like late or something like that.
Wow.
Wait, what did you play?
I play guitar and lead singer.
Wow.
Oh.
Are
Yeah.
you gonna sing for us eventually one time?
But he just did.
You know,
And play?
well, I have a lot of like great memories being on stage, but one of the best was playing for the high school talent show because
Oh.
you knew that like your crush was going to be there. You knew that like you know all the guys that your rivalries and all that. You know, like, so it was just one of those things that I always remember. But I made a fool out of myself
Oh, no.
because I was all, it was just one of those things where I'm like, I'm going to get ready. You think about it, you dream about it, and you go up there, and I did a guitar spin. And what that is like, you you swing your
Yeah.
guitar and you catch and you play. And in your head, when you think about these things, it's phenomenal. It's fantastic. It's, it's supposed to be this like grand thing. And I did it, and my bassist stepped on the chord, so it ended up swinging right in my head and hit me straight in the nose. And then I still put on a smile and it just kept going. You know?
Did people notice? I mean, it was like,
Oh yeah. And then we're like back there afterwards, and then my bassist is like, "Oh, sorry about that. I stepped on your chord." I'm like, "You're out of the band."
did you guys, wait, so you did a talent show. Did you? Did you?
No.
What did you do?
Talent show.
I mean, like, what did you do in the talent show?
I mean, I had a band.
You both had two different bands.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you guys like different type of music?
Yeah, for sure. We had different, we had similar bands that we were into, but then we also liked different bands as well. Like, my favorite band, I kind of like to think of it as middle school is like when you start taking music seriously, like when you start really liking music, you know? Like, I think for men, they start really liking music because they're like, oh, girls like music. They're like, oh, I do too, you know? And then you start realizing, oh, actually, I do like this music, you know? It's really
I
good.
can play guitar.
And during that time, you know, that's when Blink-182 was getting huge because Enema of the State was the record
yeah.
that came out.
That's right. you were saying that.
The same year, I believe, Red Hot Chili Peppers' Californication came out.
Oh, that
Another
is.
I mean, these
are
that's amazing.
game-changing albums were coming out at that
Smashing
time.
Pumpkins and Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Green Day,
Yeah.
Dookie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
Green Day Dookie is like, you know, a little earlier, but that was like the start of the punk, pop punk era, really.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And then I think for me, I almost see it as like the way people see food, right? So it's like when you're introduced to Chinese food, what's your favorite Chinese food, quote unquote? It's orange chicken because you don't have a palate for it. What's your favorite Thai food when you start eating Thai? And it
Thai.
still is pad Thai for me. But you start that way and then you start developing like a deeper palate for different types of food, you know? And so the beginnings of music and punk and rock and roll was junior high for me. And then as I got older, I started getting into this band called the Alkaline Trio. Alkaline Trio is a 3-piece Chicago punk rock band that was legendary at its time. At its peak, it was like so huge.
Yeah, I heard of them. I don't.
I have several stories of meeting them as well. It's
Whoa.
crazy, yeah. Like just sneaking around. Like people would be so surprised at how many things are accessible if you just go in.
And
Figure
bring
it out.
drumsticks.
Yeah. Like these are punk rock bands.
Yeah.
Like they're not like gonna be, you know, like super
Yeah.
No, but this-
hardcore about security.
This was like a big deal for you because for me, I just met these guys and I was of course I was a fan of them,
Yeah.
but Alkaline Trio was like Sam's like top list.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
You know.
And I remember I went to Van's Warped Tour. It's like a punk rock festival. And I went with a friend, and then we were just seeing all these groups and stuff. And then we saw Alkaline Trio, and it was like they were like pretty much at their peak at the time. It was just packed, and it was so hard to like get through the crowd. It was like to the point where like I've been to maybe 5 or 6 Alkaline Trio concerts, but then like each one is basically if you stand there and lift your feet up, you're still there.
You're stuck.
You're crammed like sardines.
Wow,
It's so crazy.
They're
And
violent
days.
fans.
it's violent.
I almost
like,
died
it's-
twice.
Mosh
Yeah.
pits?
In
mosh pits,
Whoa.
like and all that. And one time after that show, I was walking with my friend, and we saw this lot beyond the fence, this big fence. It was all tour buses, so you just know that that's where all the bands go afterward. You know. And I was like, okay, well, let me look over here, and I see a slight opening, like between the fence. You know, it's not like the fences were set up perfectly.
Yeah.
It's for a festival just at one time.
Yeah,
They're just gonna prop it up and let it be. You know, so I was like, hey, Scott, let's go. We walk behind the fence, and we run into like Wee Man from like Jackass. Like there's Benji from Good Charlotte. Like
Whoa.
it's like all these like
Good
different
Charlotte.
people, and then like
Forgot about
and then I walk around the van or the bus, and I see a little bonfire and 3 dudes just sitting there, just talking and chatting it up. And I look over, I'm like, that's Matt Skiba from Alkaline Trio.
Oh my gosh.
And so I walk up to him very cautiously. You know, they're having their little chat.
Yeah.
I don't want to bother them, but I am a mega fan, as in I heard and memorized every single album. Like I just know
Wow.
everything, you know?
Yeah.
So I go up to him, I'm like, hey, Matt. And he's just like, hey, man. And then I'm like, can you sign this? Like, it's like the alternative press with them on the cover. I like
Yeah.
literally brought it.
Yeah.
And then he was like, he stood up and he looked at me. He's kind of like an intimidating guy. He's satanic. He's crazy. And he's just like, he like looks at me and then he's like, only if you tell me that you like my shorts. And he had these flower swim trunks, you know, like the kind you get at Abercrombie and Fitch back in the day or something, you know? And I was like, I love them. And he was like, good. And he took it and he signed it and he handed it right back to me. I was like, dude.
awesome.
He was super nice. I met him like once or twice after that at like signings of like albums and stuff. And I would just like talk to him. He's super, super kind. Like all these punk rockers that seem so hardcore, they're so nice to the fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they know what it's like to like be a little kid,
Yeah.
like be
To be a
bullied
fan
and like
when they
whatever,
were
you
a
know.
fan, yeah.
Yeah, so
Right.
they're super chill. I mean, we have so many stories like that, like so many bands. And
That's awesome.
He's
Yeah.
now in Blink 182, by the way.
yeah, he was the guy that replaced Tom DeLonge. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, Blink 182. But
That is like so cool, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? That's like you. I can't believe I didn't know that because those are just such fun stories. I
Yeah.
would totally wear those stories on my sleeve and just like give them out to everyone and everyone I met. Be like, guess what happened when I was in middle school?
well, I made that up right now. Just to pass the time. Yeah.
Jeez. And you have more stories too. That's even.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, after punk rock, you know, as I said before, your palette changes and
Yeah.
deepens, and so you know, I got into bands like. Eventually, it got to like Radiohead. You know, I never got to meet Radiohead. They're from the UK, but you know, like Wilco and stuff like that. I have so many crazy stories. Okay, do you remember Al Cheval in Chicago?
Yes.
Al Cheval, like the burger
Yes.
place. You have to wait 3 hours to get seated over there. So my friends and I were waiting there. It might have been like 2 years ago. It's not even during college. It's like way after. We're waiting there, waiting to get seated, and I look over. I see this guy, and I just know.
Yeah.
He's the bassist of Wilco. And I just walk up there. I'm like, "Are you John Sturrett?" He's like, "Yes, I am." I'm like, "I love your band." He's like, "Thank you so much, man." And then we just start talking about music.
That's awesome.
And he's waiting for a seat too. He gets seated earlier, obviously, and he's like, "Oh, you make music too?" I'm like, "Yeah. Can I send you some stuff?" He's like, "Yeah, here's my personal email, blah blah blah."
What?
blah. Yeah.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, that's why I sent him nudes.
Oh.
Perfect.
He's like, "This is not the music I was thinking you were gonna send,
like,
but
thank
I
goodness."
saved it." No, but he was super nice. Like all these guys are really nice.
But see, that's was so fun because when you're like creating music and you're in a band, you have big dreams. It was a real life thing when you can send somebody a demo and they listen to it and they like it and you get a phone call. Like that was a very real thing. And so John Feldman, who I'm like, he's like, I was such a fan of, not just a fan, he was one of my biggest like idols as a producer. Still is to this day. And he's the one that found Story of the Year, The Used, some of the biggest bands like and what's the other one from Chicago? Show Off and Mest. So a lot of big groups. And I know that he really looks for these demos. He likes to find the gems, you know?
Yeah.
So he played a show, and every time he comes to town, my friends and me, it's like a movie. We all poke our heads in the hallway in high school, and we're like, Goldfinger's coming to town. What? And then we all just hop on the train after school, and we go downtown. And we catch a show. And then there's like 7-10 of us, like shirtless because we lost our shirts somehow. And we're just walking back to our train. And that's just like...
This is high school?
This is high school, yeah.
How do your parents just let you
It's magical.
go? That's crazy.
Yeah, we just, I mean, I guess it's just kind of like the town.
That was just the era. Like
Yeah, that was the
parents
era.
just,
Yeah.
felt like they.
That was not my era.
Yeah,
Really?
not here.
That's not
But
what we-
I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever had a curfew in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, me either.
So we have, I mean, it was a bit,
Definitely
it was pretty much like that, I think, just like our town maybe.
Yeah.
But I brought a CD with me. I had to contact everything. I knew, I just always thought, well, when John Feldman came into town, I'm going to give him the CD somehow, some way. So during the show, he started singing in the crowd. He started walking into the crowd, started singing. And all I wanted to do was just give him the CD. So I finally got close to him enough where I was just like tapping him on the shoulder with the CD. I'm like, come on, take it.
Yeah.
And he walked right past me, and then he just stopped, and he just goes, I saw a CD. Into the mic, he's like, I saw a CD. And he looks back, he's like, someone had a CD. I'm like, me.
Oh my
and
gosh.
he grabbed it,
Oh,
and he
that's
took
awesome.
it. I never got a phone call, but I'm just, it's something I remember for the rest of my life because I prepared that for him, and my hero took it from me.
That's
You know?
awesome.
Yeah.
And he could have just easily have ignored it.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
like literally in a split second, he decided in his mind, I'm going to acknowledge this. And then it changed your life.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
you felt so good about
Yeah.
it.
That's what I really appreciated about the indie artists. I mean,
Yeah.
Goldfinger at the time, I mean, you could say they're indie, but they were like huge, but they just know what it's like to be on the come up or like, before the come up, and they know the struggle and the hardships that come with that. And so they respect the struggle of the fans as well. Because these fans, they're not just fans. A lot of them are people that are striving to become like their idols, So, any of those artists, like we have tons more stories. There's just so many stories. And each time, luckily, they're just so kind, like
Yeah.
super, super nice guys.
That's why I actually, when people send me demos, and for those of you that have demos for me, I will listen to them. And I do listen to every single one of them because I just feel that that's the least that I can do, just being in the position that I am in now, But
Did you listen to the one I sent you?
that one,
Auto-tuned farts don't count. It's been done before, okay?
It's original.
That's great though, because I feel like I sometimes think about like how competitive of a world we live in, especially when you're just, for me at least, I'm personally like diving into social media like way too much of my time, and oftentimes I'm just comparing myself, and like I know I'm not the only person that does that. So like when I think about how competitive I have to be or how competitive the space is, do I partake in that competitiveness or do I partake it in a different
That's a good
in a
question.
different way? Yeah, like because from the sounds of it, you guys had some very positive experiences with people who are more than willing to help you. They were nice to you and they were like showing you appreciation and all of that. And you talk about it then, and now, Joe, you're saying that you do that for people, and I think that's very like it's a great gift, because I mean, at least share the love, and you're doing it. That's amazing. So I wonder how much of it is actually as accessible as we may experience it.
what's your dream scenario? If you were to meet like your idol that you come across, and let's say there's an opportunity where you want to present yourself and find an opportunity to collaborate, what would that be?
Oh man,
So for you guys, it would be music, but for me, it would be like a director or something like that. So it'd be something along, or an actor, something like.
I don't think it would be music.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, really?
really?
Yeah.
What would it be?
I think it would just have to be something that's creatively challenging. Yeah, because I mean, for me personally, like I don't consider myself just like a pure musician. Like I hardly ever had like classical training in anything besides piano when I was like much younger. But I think music was just like a channel through like whatever I was pushing creatively through, creativity through, and that could be drawing, it could be an instrument, it could be writing, or So.
at this point, I don't know if I would want to direct. I enjoy editing a lot more than enjoy the editing part of it more than the directing part of it. So yeah, that would be, I don't know. Yeah, it'd be like, if the scenario would be something like that, it'd be like, I don't know, I'm working like somebody sees something that I did and like, who edited this? And then they're like, oh, let me call this guy up. That would be, I guess that'd be cool. Yeah.
No.
So yeah. But other than
Next
that,
Marvel film.
so okay, that's funny that you mentioned that though, because you know the Avengers Endgame, you know the part where Tony Stark. This is a spoiler, by the way, but you know the part where Tony Stark, he goes, Thanos goes, I am inevitable, right? And he snaps, but then there's nothing there, and then Tony Stark goes, and I am Iron Man, and then he snaps, right? He actually wasn't gonna say anything. The script was that he would just smirk and then snap, but the editor was like, he should say something here. This is weird. So like in the edit, they switched it, and he was the one that actually suggested he should say, I am Iron Man. And then the Russo brothers were like,
Very interesting.
you're a genius, and then they did it. So it was because of the editor that scene actually happened the way
That's
it did.
awesome.
So like it was crazy because like it was
Power
months
move.
later, and like he had to regrow the goatee like Robert Downey Jr.
Wow.
Yeah, so they did everything to like get that to be what it was. So.
I heard that the editor is the person you want to be friends with, like in the industry, because like that's the person that can help you, I guess, like advance in the career
Oh,
or
interesting.
just help you in ways that others can't. Maybe I don't
Oh,
know.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's definitely like it holds a lot more creative control than people realize because
Yeah.
a lot of things are affected in like in the edit. It's like where most of like how you feel about something takes place. You
Yeah.
know, like how quick something cuts or like
Yeah.
how long you linger on something.
yeah,
You know,
Sure.
like that will definitely change.
It's like it's arrangement. Yeah.
For sure. So like, how long do you want to focus on something? Like, do you want to keep it there and then hold it, and then it'll build that emotion for that much longer, or take it away?
Sure.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny you said that. I was editing a video today of a mom doing like a vlog, and she was basically doing like a skit that she wrote by herself. And after she would deliver a line, she would wait like 3 seconds to go to the next line to deliver. And it totally like lost me at the first couple seconds. And especially with comedy, timing is everything,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like you notice that in like even comedians too, like they have to say the punchline right away, or they have to build it up and then say it. Like there's just so many.
For sure.
Yeah. So I guess I get it. Like in editing, it's like you either deliver the punchline or you don't.
For sure.
Yeah, I want to speak this into existence, but I think that she's going to have her own special one day. And I'm going to say this
Wow.
now on record because especially even I know like there isn't so much traction as a stand-up comic right now, but I could totally see you on stage doing bits.
Oh my
For sure.
god.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I actually made a promise with her that the day she does it, I'll open for her. So
You should make your first stand-up attempt your special.
Yeah.
that would be
Just
wild.
like go to an open mic, be like, "This, welcome to my special."
I've never been done before.
He's just like, what?
Yeah. Where are the cameras?
Where are the cameras?
Oh, my iPhone.
Everyone's in there.
Right here.
All three of us are on our iPhones, so we're like, come on.
Different angles, you know.
It's like your mom. It's like,
It's 3 different phones, but all the same angle.
one spot.
Honestly, I was going to say if my perfect situation would be just to actually have 30 minutes to just do improv with
Damn.
like SNL folks.
No,
Like,
that
it's
would be
just
dope.
so funny. Like their energy, because I'm such an extrovert, so I like feed off people's energy, and they always have the energy. I mean, at least on screen or whatever. But even Ali Wong too. She's not on SNL, but like just to banter with her, like I want my conversation with Ali Wong to be a book because it's going to be that entertaining because of her. She's going to drive the conversation. It's going to be so entertaining, And if you have two people who are at the same energy level, hopefully it's even
Yeah.
more entertaining, You know what I was thinking about? Comedians today have to only do it in groups of like a few,
Yeah.
and
If at all.
if at all. Actually, my work did like a happy hour thing, and we hired a comedian. I forgot his name. Paul Morrissey. Paul Morrissey.
Yeah, definitely. That's
Yeah.
him. I know.
He's so great, but he had to do it over. Like we were all on Zoom, and he had to do it there.
Oh
And
my gosh.
It was very.
He did
like,
a Zoom comedy set? Whoa.
That's
okay.
interesting.
It was really great.
Wow,
He
okay.
picked on me, and it was really fun. I talked about how greasy my hair would smell if I had greasy hair, and we talked about in and out. And it was just like this whole bit. It was great.
Oh.
But anyway, he didn't know if half the people were laughing because they were on mute, because my coworkers didn't want to be not on mute because, like, we don't want to disturb his set. So,
Right.
like, it's just it's awkward.
That's what I'm saying. It's weird.
Yeah.
Because it is weird because you have to be on mute because you will overtake what he's saying.
Exactly.
So that's
And even exactly. So if you were laughing, the timing's off too. Like
Exactly.
by a millisecond, but that matters.
And that's what I'm saying. Timing is everything. So, like, I feel kind of weird. I feel bad for.
Okay, so what's your timing on when you want to go up on stage then? Like, when is this going to happen?
You gotta
You want to do
vision
this
it.
one day, but when is this one day going to be?
Honestly, it was going to be probably this year if COVID didn't happen, because I was in the second level of the groundlings classes. So you do like basic and then intermediate, and then in advanced you get a show. And I passed intermediate, so
That's
I was going to
awesome.
roll in advance, and then it's like a 6-week, 8-week course or something, and then at the 8th week you have a show.
Okay.
So
Wait,
that would have
I-
been so much closer.
Is that an improv course?
Improv course, yeah. So it would have been like an improv show. It wouldn't be like a
so
stand-up.
do you have like a 30-minute set?
No, I would probably just start running my mouth, and usually that doesn't really get me to good places.
Do you
so.
have like do you have like
Bits?
do you have a joke?
You have bits?
No, I don't have. I wrote some down, but it's definitely not ready to be
Oh.
said. But I have some down.
Well,
you
okay.
know why?
But then you
Tell
should,
me one thing you
yeah,
wrote down.
Yeah, just
Wait,
just one. You know,
wait,
No,
just
you're not
one.
going to tell me the bit, but you're going to tell me the general idea of like what
the,
it
the
is.
gist of what the joke
Okay,
is supposed to be.
it's titled "Guys Are Like Ice Cream Flavors."
Ooh,
That's good.
Yeah,
It already sounds great.
Yeah.
you guys, so encouraging. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you know why I did this is because actually, the day before I had lunch with Jen and Joe, and we spent hours talking about this, just like what comedy
Like
and how
what
fun it would be.
different flavors guys are.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe likes
Vanilla.
chocolate
Yeah.
and
Dark chocolate.
Who doesn't?
full cacao, and he 75%.
Yeah, 75%.
And he was so encouraging that
Oh.
literally that day, the night I slept, and I woke up thinking about these jokes, and then I woke up at 7 a.m. and I started writing, and I was like, oh my gosh,
That's awesome.
And that's how much words can mean from someone. So everyone, be encouraging.
That's very true. Okay, so the men are like ice cream. Do you have another one?
I think. Wait, let me find it. Let me find these.
So what do you do in your improv class?
We opened the class with some like practice material, so like warm ups, if you will. And here's one that I feel like maybe we can just do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
how
you guys.
let's give us like the rules.
Okay.
Are there no rules?
Well, I think most rules that I think if you think of improv, it's always say yes.
Yes, I've heard
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Never turn down or reject someone else's idea or like saying whatever. You just go with it. So with that rule in mind, okay, I'm going to start with asking or saying, this is going to be an easy exercise, I hope. If you fail, then you never do improv then.
Oh, dang.
It's not for you.
Then go
What is
home.
my dream?
Okay, so if I'm going to start by saying a sentence, and the sentence, whatever the letter ends with. So like if I say, today I went to the mall, L, he has to start the next sentence with L. And then it goes in a circle.
Okay.
But the story has to make sense, you know? You can't be like, today I went to the mall, later the giraffe peed. Like it's not,
Yeah.
it has to like make sense, you know?
Makes sense
Oh,
to me.
shoot. It's hard.
Does it have to be the letter is important?
The
So you
letter is important, yeah.
wow, okay.
And it's a warm up, but typically when you warmed up and like you get your wheels spinning, it gets really fun and it gets really ridiculous sometimes. And then the second rule I would say that stuck with me the most is to raise the stakes. So you don't ever want to keep a story like this, because think about it, every movie, every story, every book that you've read has a build up and a climax. So you have to take it there.
Right.
And I think that's why improv is so fun, but it's kind of hard at the same time because you have to think about how your story.
The story's got to.
But that's why it's fun.
That's why it's
for
fun.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, start us off.
All right. Today, I saw a 2-ton zebra.
A what?
I thought you were supposed to do a letter. I was waiting for the letter.
It's A.
A. A zebra.
Oh, I see the last letter of the last word.
yeah,
Oh, I'm
yeah.
so sorry. I thought you said L, and I was like, because like you said L.
No, mall.
Oh, mall. I see.
That's the
Okay.
example. You guys
That's why I was
are off to
continuing
great
on.
start. Yeah.
I was like,
what?
where's the letter? I was like just sitting
So
up.
Sam's really good at this.
Okay.
So it couldn't actually be like a response, like a comment, not necessarily continuing a storyline.
Right,
Like
but then
narration.
that's why it's harder because if you just do a response, then it's hard to kind of feed off of that. It's like, what are you
right,
going to
right.
give me to work with?
Okay, so let's try that. I'm so sorry. I
That's
didn't
okay.
realize.
Are we
the last
going in
letter.
order here?
I think we should.
Let's just popcorn.
Yeah, it's popcorn.
Popcorn, yeah,
I think
okay.
that'd be better.
All right, here we go. Today, I plan on going shopping.
Good.
I hate this game.
Get me some chips. Thank you. What?
Wow, Sam is
really
playing
good.
by himself,
really
y'all.
good at
Oh my gosh, I think it would be fun if we do one improv game, like a short one every podcast. I think that would warm us up. I think it would be really fun.
Yeah, I think you should raise the stakes each time. It can't just be like last letter starts the sentence. It
Okay,
has to
fine.
be like
We'll raise. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we can raise the stakes. I'll bring my book O Notes, which has all the list of games that we've ever played.
Yeah.
These classes are expensive, so you guys are getting some exclusive
Well,
content.
classes or no classes, I think Eunice is one of the funniest people that I know in my life. She's hilarious, and it's more than just the funny. I think it's really just her personality. So whenever this special does come out, we're gonna see the full Eunice experience. You know, so it's I'm speaking it into existence right now, and it starts in this the setting right now, so that everyone knows that we said it here and it's gonna happen.
Oh my god! And
It's
we're gonna
happening.
call it the Unique Experience.
Experience. Yeah.
That's so great.
Thank
No, but,
you.
but Sam's also very good at just
Riffing.
riffing.
Yeah, I think I'll be really good at heckling you on your special. Like if I'm sitting there, I'm just gonna like go off of the last word you said.
He's just gonna play the game, and no one's like playing it. But
He's like, please stop.
Dude,
So I won't show up for your sake.
just stay home.
but I think stand up is probably one of the hardest things that that I can think of, because for me, like Sam and I, we have to riff a lot, just in a creative setting when it comes to music. But like to make a bunch of people you just met or never met ever laugh, and they pay money to make to have you make them laugh.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the hardest things ever, and I've heard stories just how people bomb. I've seen people bomb, and I've seen people bomb and recover. I've seen people kill it, and definitely I think that's why it's part of my bucket list. I do want to try it one
Yes.
time in my life. At
Yes.
least. Yeah.
I
Do
think you'd
you
be
have
so
a joke?
good.
I actually have a lot of bits. I've actually shared it with. Remember, I shared some with her, and I'm like, you got to use it. You got to try it. I don't think I can execute it right now. It's not ready to be.
Then give us a gist, kind of like what she did. What's a gist of
Oh
one of them?
no, I don't even want to give that away because
Because that
it's
gives the
part
whole
of the
thing away.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think I mean it's more than just being funny amongst friends, right? Because I think a lot of times people are like, oh, I make my friends laugh. No, but like this is like really more about
It's a different level for
yeah,
sure.
different level of
For sure.
like, especially when it comes to the art of making people laugh and storytelling and all that. I think it's so important that you find a way to bounce that energy and move the energy and all that.
You also have to have like a thing, this is your thing,
Yeah.
like, this is like your personality, even if it's not really like that in real life,
Yeah.
this is like your, like, I'm the depressed guy, or I'm like the super happy guy, or, like,
Yeah.
whatever. And you got to really like be able to play that into your jokes too. So
Yeah.
it like, everything connects.
Yeah.
So it's
Brand
it's definitely
yourself,
hard.
essentially.
I had like, so like I have meetings every single day on Zoom and stuff like that. And like, I don't know why people don't mute themselves. Like they want,
yeah.
you want, and then like, it's something that you just, but they just don't, right?
You think they forget?
I guess there has to be, right? Because like maybe they spoke for a second
Yeah.
and then they forgot to mute after that, or like maybe they went in and they just didn't think to mute it. But I don't know. It's just, so we're in the meeting and like everyone's quiet, and all of a sudden this one of the women, she gets a phone call, right? And like you can already hear the phone, right? And she picks up the phone. She's like, it's like, what's up? Like she like calls the person like, I don't remember the name. It's like, what's crack-a-lackin'? It was like super loud, right? And everyone was just like, okay, right? We're just like listening, and then she's like starts talking, and like she's just going off on this conversation. She didn't say anything bad, right? But then she's just being really loud and like really just like, you know, whatever about everything. And then like we're just like everyone just starts dying laughing because of like just the whole situation. And like the host was just trying to find the mute all button.
Oh
And it took
my
like a
God.
while, and then finally it happened. They were like sorry. They just continued on with the meeting, but like
Did that lady ever find out what she was doing?
her coworkers definitely called her out on it later,
Oh my
but at the time
God.
she didn't
Yikes.
know. Yeah, but it was but she didn't do anything bad, so
Right.
like it was okay. She didn't
Yeah.
say anything really
Yeah, it's
bad.
like, what are you wearing?
Yeah.
It was just like her
What are you
old,
wearing?
like, what's cracking? You know, just so loud. It was awesome though.
My friend's bathroom door, you can see it in the like the Zoom camera facing him, and it's far enough where it's like not high def or whatever. And he thought
So it's blurred.
he wouldn't have to close the door when he would go to the bathroom. To
take dumps?
One time, yeah.
Oh.
And one time he left the door open, and then people in his class I forgot if he got told or not. Like, hey, next time, or if he just kind of figured it out. Like later on, he like saw in the self view, like, oh my God, you can see me taking a shit.
Yeah.
I actually saw a TikTok video similar to that. It was like they do the story time, right?
Yeah.
So this girl had this major crush on this guy, and she's been like just working on this, like, just trying to get closer to him and stuff. And finally, they became friends, and he called her, I think. And so she was like, she picked up the phone call, but she was like, okay, I'll be right back. 'Cause she had to like fart really bad.
Oh my
I
God.
think she just had to go into the bathroom. So she was like, hold on. And then she just like put him on mute, and she ran in, and she just let it go, right? She said it was like the worst. And she was even like embarrassed, even though it was just her.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden you heard him go, nice. He was like, nice. So it wasn't on mute. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's terrible.
Mortifying.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Yeah, at least he was a good sport about it.
Yeah. You zoom and you learn, you know.
Zoom and learn.
Yeah.
Well, on that note,
Yeah. So
On that note.
are we gonna conclude this episode right here?
Yeah, let's do it. Actually, I just want to mention a couple things. First, congratulations to the Lakers.
Ooh.
yeah, my boys.
Hey.
My boys. Finally, my boys did it.
Diehard fan here.
Oh my God, this is such a-
For years, he didn't just get that jersey.
Well, by the way, Brandon, you are a Clippers fan.
I
So
am.
Indeed.
It's been a bummer
Yeah.
time. But let's just leave that.
But hey, Dodgers are going to the World Series.
I am a Dodger fan, a casual Dodger fan. So,
Yeah,
yay
so
from,
congratulations
thank you.
to
I don't know what casual means, but congrats, my boys.
Yeah. And
I'm just kidding. I'm a Bulls fan. Thank you for joining us. We love you. Stay tuned.
take care.
Yay.
All right.